These are 10 returning and new anime projects coming in 2026 that will absolutely dominate your watch list. From long-awaited adaptations that fans have been begging for, to beloved series making their triumphant return, this year is packed with shows that will redefine what we expect from anime. Let me start by saying that 2026 might just be the strongest year for anime we've seen in a long time. We're not getting random new shows thrown at us. We're getting carefully crafted continuations of stories we love, plus some massive new adaptations that have been years in the making. And trust me, by the time we get to number 1 on this list, you're going to understand why anime fans everywhere are losing their minds. Starting us off at number 10, we have Campfire Cooking in Another World, with My Absurd Skill getting its 2nd season. Now, I know what you're thinking, this might seem like an odd choice for a top 10 list, but hear me out. This show has something that a lot of anime struggle to achieve: perfect comfort food energy. The first season proved that you don't always need explosive action or mind-bending plot twists to create something genuinely entertaining. Sometimes you just want to watch someone cook ridiculously good food in a fantasy world while taming adorable monsters. The streaming numbers for Season 1 were surprisingly solid, and there's a very specific audience that absolutely adores this type of low-stress isekai content. What makes this show special is how it fills a particular niche in the anime ecosystem. It's the perfect background watch when you want something cozy, but it's also engaging enough that you can actively follow the story. The food animation is gorgeous, the world building is charming, and honestly, after a long day of dealing with real-world stress, sometimes you just want to watch someone make incredible meals with magical ingredients. The 2nd season is confirmed to dive deeper into the relationships between our protagonist and the various creatures he's befriended through his cooking. We're getting more exploration of the world's cuisine culture and apparently some genuinely touching character development. It's not going to break the internet, but it's going to make a lot of people very happy. Moving up to number 9, The Apothecary Diaries is returning for its 2nd season, and this is where things start getting really interesting. This show has built something incredibly rare in the anime world: genuine critical respect combined with passionate fan devotion. What sets The Apothecary Diaries apart is its commitment to slower-paced, dialogue-driven storytelling. In an anime landscape often dominated by action spectacles, this show proves that audiences are hungry for smart, methodical narratives. The palace intrigue elements give it this satisfying complexity where every episode reveals new layers to the political and social dynamics. Season 2 promises to explore more of Mao Mao's background while introducing new medical mysteries that will test her skills. The animation studio has confirmed they're maintaining the same level of detail in the historical settings, which means we're getting more of those gorgeous palace scenes and intricate costume designs that made the first season so visually compelling. At number 8, we have something that's going to surprise a lot of people: a new project from the Friar and Beyond Journey's End universe. Now, before anyone starts typing angry comments, let me explain why this isn't higher on the list, because it absolutely deserves recognition. The reason it's at number 8 isn't because of quality, it's because of a very specific type of audience engagement. Friar and viewers tend to be incredibly respectful and thoughtful. They don't generate the kind of explosive online discussions that drive algorithm performance, but they do create lasting, meaningful conversations about the show's themes and execution. This new project is reportedly exploring different time periods within the Friaren universe, potentially showing us more of the world's history and how different characters have experienced the passage of time. The studio has been incredibly secretive about details, but early reports suggest we're getting the same level of thoughtful storytelling and gorgeous animation that made the original series so special. Number 7 brings us to My Hero Academia's final arc continuation. And honestly, this placement might be controversial, but it reflects something important about franchise fatigue and audience expectations. That said, this final arc promises to deliver on storylines that have been building for years. We're finally getting the ultimate confrontation between heroes and villains that the entire series has been leading toward. The animation studio has confirmed they're pulling out all the stops for these final episodes, with movie-quality production values for the most important battles. What makes this continuation significant is how it's handling the conclusion of character arcs that audiences have been following for nearly a decade. Deku's journey from powerless dreamer to the symbol of peace is reaching its climax, and early reports suggest the payoff is going to be emotionally satisfying for longtime fans. Coming in at number 6, Kaiju number 8 is getting a new season, and this is where we start hitting shows that are genuinely changing the anime landscape in important ways. What makes Kaiju number 8 special is its accessibility. You can show this to someone who's never watched anime before, and they'll immediately understand what's happening and why they should care. The monster designs are incredible, the action sequences are choreographed beautifully, and the protagonist's journey from cleanup crew member to kaiju-powered hero is inherently compelling. The new season is expanding the scope significantly. We're getting more exploration of the anti-kaiju defense forces structure, deeper dives into the mystery behind the kaiju appearances, and apparently some massive revelations about the protagonist's transformation abilities. The studio has also confirmed they're introducing new kaiju types that will challenge everything our heroes think they know about these monsters. From a technical standpoint, the animation quality is getting a significant upgrade. The studio learned from fan feedback about the first season and has invested heavily in improving the fluidity of action scenes and the detail work on kaiju designs. Early preview footage suggests we're in for some absolutely stunning visual spectacles. At number 5, we have Overlord returning with a new project. And this is where we start talking about shows that have achieved something incredibly rare, consistent excellence across multiple seasons. What sets Overlord apart is its commitment to world building and strategic thinking. This isn't just about an overpowered protagonist steamrolling through challenges, it's about intelligent planning, political maneuvering, and the complex dynamics of ruling through fear and respect. Ainz's journey from game player to actual Dark Overlord continues to provide fascinating character study opportunities. The new project is reportedly taking the series into unexplored territories of the world map, introducing entirely new kingdoms and political structures for Ainz to navigate. We're getting more insight into the game mechanics that still influence this world, plus deeper exploration of how other players who might have been transported to this reality have adapted to their situations. The animation studio has promised they're addressing fan concerns about previous seasons' production values. The budget has been significantly increased, particularly for magic effects and large-scale battle sequences. Early reports suggest the guild base of Nazarick is getting some stunning visual updates that will showcase its otherworldly architecture in new ways. Number 4 brings us to Mushoku Tensei's next season, and this is where things get really interesting, because we're talking about a series that generates incredible engagement through genuine controversy and passionate discussion. The series has never shied away from complex, sometimes uncomfortable themes about redemption, growth, and the consequences of past actions. The protagonist's journey from complete failure to gradually becoming a better person resonates with audiences who appreciate nuanced character development, even when that development includes serious missteps along the way. This upcoming season is adapting some of the most emotionally intense arcs from the source material. Without spoiling anything, we're getting storylines that will test every character relationship that's been built up over previous seasons. The studio has confirmed they're not pulling any punches with the emotional content, which means we're in for some genuinely challenging viewing experiences. The production values continue to be absolutely top tier. The magic system animation, the world-building details, and especially the character animation during emotional scenes remain some of the best in the industry. The studio has mastered the art of making every episode feel cinematic while maintaining the intimacy needed for character-focused storytelling. Breaking into our top 3 at number 3, ReZero is returning with a new arc. And honestly, this placement feels almost inevitable because of what this series represents in modern anime. What makes ReZero special is its commitment to exploring the genuine psychological consequences of its central premise. The series doesn't treat death and resurrection as a convenient plot device. Instead, it examines how experiencing repeated trauma would actually affect someone's mental state, relationships, and decision-making processes. The new arc is reportedly the darkest and most psychologically intense content the series has produced. We're getting deeper exploration of Subaru's mental state, more complex political intrigue in the fantasy world, and character development for supporting cast members who have been waiting for their moments to shine. The studio has been incredibly secretive about specific plot details, but early reports suggest we're getting some major revelations about the nature of Subaru's ability and the larger forces at work in this world. The emotional payoff that fans have been building toward through multiple seasons is finally coming to fruition. Coming in at number 2, Solo Leveling is returning with a new project, and this is where we acknowledge something that's fundamentally changed the anime landscape over the past few years. The power progression system in Solo Leveling hits this perfect sweet spot, where it feels both logical and satisfying. Watching Jinwoo grow from the weakest hunter to an unstoppable force provides constant gratification while maintaining enough mystery about the source of his powers to keep viewers guessing. This new project is expanding the scope dramatically. We're getting exploration of international hunter organizations, deeper dives into the Shadow Army abilities, and apparently some major revelations about the gate phenomenon that started this entire story. The source material for this arc includes some of the most visually spectacular battles in the entire series. The animation studio has confirmed they're implementing new techniques specifically for the shadow manipulation sequences. Early preview footage shows incredibly fluid animation for Jinwoo's army summoning abilities, with individual shadow soldiers getting more detailed designs and combat animations. What makes Solo Leveling's return so significant is its ability to serve as a gateway series. It's introducing new audiences to anime while providing enough depth and complexity to satisfy longtime fans. The series has mastered the art of making each episode feel like a significant event while building toward larger narrative payoffs. And finally, at number 1, we have the beginning after the end, and this choice might surprise some people, but it represents something absolutely crucial about the current state of anime adaptation and fan anticipation. What makes this adaptation so anticipated is how perfectly the source material translates to anime format. The magic system is visually spectacular, with elemental combinations and combat techniques that are practically designed for animation. The world building includes multiple continents with distinct cultures, political systems, and magical traditions that provide endless content for future seasons. The protagonist's journey from child prodigy to political leader to someone grappling with cosmic-level threats provides a natural progression that keeps the stakes escalating without feeling forced. Unlike many isekai series that struggle with power scaling, the beginning after the end has a clear roadmap for maintaining tension and character growth across a long-form narrative. The animation studio has been incredibly ambitious with their approach to this adaptation. They're not just adapting the manhwa, they're expanding on the world building with original content that enhances the source material. The magic combat system is getting the full treatment with detailed choreography and effects work that rivals the biggest budget anime productions. The character relationships in this series are particularly strong. The family dynamics, friendships, and romantic relationships all feel genuine and impact the larger plot in meaningful ways. It's not just about the protagonist becoming stronger, it's about how his growth affects everyone around him and the world he's trying to protect. Looking at all 10 of these series together, what becomes clear is that 2026 represents a maturation of the anime industry. We're getting fewer experimental risks and more carefully crafted productions that understand exactly what their audiences want. These aren't just random shows being thrown at us to see what sticks. These are strategic decisions by studios and publishers who have learned from years of data about what works in modern anime consumption. The mix of returning favorites and highly anticipated adaptations creates this perfect storm of content that should satisfy both longtime fans and newcomers. Whether you're looking for comfortable background viewing, intense emotional experiences, spectacular action sequences, or complex world building, there's something on this list that will absolutely capture your attention. 2026 is shaping up to be one of those years that anime fans remember as a turning point. The quality is higher, the production values are more consistent, and the understanding of what makes great anime has never been clearer. These 10 series represent the best of what the medium can offer, and honestly, we're incredibly lucky to be getting all of them in a single year.